Thank you so much for talking to me today. I'm so sorry about what happened to you, and we're really grateful that you're talking about it. And before we start, I just want you to know if you need to take a pause, if you want to stop, it's all fine, okay? But if I could, I'm going to ask you what happened at the time. You were on the plane. Did things seem normal when you first got on?
It is very painful to talking about the Ukraine.
I can see the pain of it and the trauma of it. What happened? When did you first realise something was wrong?
It's quite difficult to explain myself.
Do you remember it?
It's very hard.
So you took off, and then quite quickly the plane, it stopped? It seemed to hang in the air. Is that right?
You've seen how close the family have been supporting. Yeah. It's a conversation that they haven't been able to talk about with him. We will hear when you hear how he is at the moment. The post-traumatic stress that he's going through. Anything to do with that day, he kind of
blocks it out. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. How is your life now? Do you feel angry towards Air India?
Okay. Everything is changing, isn't it? After that crash. Like me, mentally, physically. Also my family is, all family broke down.
How's it been for your family?
All it broke down instantly.
I'm so sorry that you didn't ask for this. You were the victim, and it's had this impact on you and the people you love. It's very difficult. Do you feel physical pain?
Yes.
What pain do you feel?
My knee, shoulder, and back, and some burning in right left arm. But still pain in my body.
And is it hard to go upstairs, to move around?
Yeah.
I saw you when you walk. Even walking looks painful.
In my house, my wife helping me, going to shower and my bedroom and everything.
Do you leave the house? Do you go out? Do you do things?
Just sit on my bed and all day.
Do you watch TV? Is that what you do?
I don't like anything watching. I just think about my brother and just.
Your brother who died?
He's my younger brother.
What was he like?
He's for me, he's everything for me. He's giving me backbone. He give me all the time. He support me. But still, I'm not believe that it's not more.
Do you feel you've had much support to help with your mental health, to help with your physical injuries as well? You feel quite abandoned. And San, you've obviously spent a lot of time, haven't you, with the families and people, whose lives have been wrecked by this. What is your kind of message to the authorities?
These innocent people have been thrown into this through no fault of their own. So many of these families have no infrastructure around them. The social demographic by itself. They don't have a support service of people who can navigate it, to make sense of it. And, Vishwas with his family, I've tried to be there to understand things, to protect them. But the authorities, Air India, what would you do in a boardroom? What would you say at a time of crisis? If something happens, the best way to deal with this is accept you've done something wrong, but then be human in terms of dealing with the people. You can't guarantee everything all the time, but how you deal with it is important. And I don't think Air India have done that.
You don't think they've been human?
I don't think they treat them as humans. Now, whether that's something that's wrong with the system, and that's why our challenge and request to speak to the Chief Executive of Air India is to, behind closed doors, let's talk as humans, meet the people, understand what they're going through. Because on a human level, they'll know what to do. They'll understand it. But relying on a bureaucratic machinery to deal with real lives who are going through real trauma, the pain of that, the financial consequences of that, the day-to-day how lives have been destroyed, not just the immediate family, but the extended families. And in the UK, I shared with you earlier that something as simple as universal credit is taken away from families like Vishwas's. And what did? They went to a funeral to India at a time of disaster, and they're having to reapply for basics like that.
So just to be really clear to our viewers, what you're saying is that members of the family who went to India in the time of this absolute tragedy had their universal credit stopped because of that.
Vishwas's family included. And you think, as a duty of care from the British authorities, as British citizens who've been living in this country for decades, you should have some sort of system where you go into action at times of trauma, of tragedy. I
know your main message is to Air India, but what would you say to Keir Starmer, to the UK government?
Take action today. If this is your family, what would you do? And if you understand that, you'll know what to do. Reach out to people like us, and we can help you and direct you.
Do you think he needs to raise it with the Indian authorities to do more there?
I think whatever Keir Starmer can do to put the pressure on Air India will help. So while we wait for Air India to do what's right, there's what the UK authorities and the system can do as being right to serve the citizens and support them through these tragic times.
And there's a legal element to this as well, right?
There is a legal element to it, but we shouldn't have to go there, should we? It's extraordinary listening to this suffering and us having to talk about ways that we might put pressure on those who are responsible for this crash to do the right thing. Because we're not asking them to build a rocket to the moon. This is just do the right thing. And the suffering is extraordinary. And the way things stand at the moment is it's Air India's responsibility to look after the victims. And it's fair to say that they are doing some things, but it doesn't even get these families off the ground. And the only way as a leader that you can deploy resources correctly is to come and listen to the victims. This wasn't a car crash. This was one of the worst aviation disasters ever. And I would have thought the first thing that the chief executive would want to do personally is to come in and listen to the people. At the moment, he's hiding behind lawyers. And as Sanjeev says, going through the bureaucracy of trying to help these people. But that's not how you do it. This cries out for a bespoke arrangement. And we want him to come and meet with us so that he can hear for himself directly what the suffering is.
Air India have offered a flat interim payment of £21,500 to the same to all the victims. I mean,
their numbers on a spreadsheet, Sophie. He's a number on a spreadsheet to them. He's not a human being. Because if they came and saw the suffering that Sanjeev and I are seeing, and it's fallen onto our shoulders to try and help the victims, then he would understand that the offer of £21,500 doesn't even start to help.
I'm so sorry, and Vishwas Kumar, I know how difficult it is to talk about it, and I get that, and I'm sorry for having to ask these questions. You've got a son as well, is that right?
Yes.
How old is he?
4.5 years.
What's his name?
Divang.
How is he?
Okay.
I have a 4-year-old as well, so I know what 4-year-olds are like. They're kind of a handful, but they can bring a lot of joy as well. How has he been since the tragedy happened? Has it been difficult?
Last 4 months, I'm not talking properly with my son.
Yeah. What help do you think what do you need? What needs to happen?
Yeah, the list is endless. But if we start from the practical things, like for instance, he can't take his son to school. Maybe they could sort taxis out. He can't even leave the house to do the food shopping. Maybe they could order some food in for him, or sort the supermarket shop. So that's at a very simple level. And then if you move through to the medical side, I think as we can all see, there's a real need for intensive psychiatric input, which he hasn't been getting for the last few months. That's urgent. And then to the financial, Sophie, where the family's income has gone. So not only is he having to live with the aftermath of this crash where he lost his brother, both here in the UK and in India, the families, well, they're facing an existential threat. And so every minute counts, every hour counts, every day counts. Why aren't Air India coming to recognize this and help? The offer of £21,500 doesn't even touch the sides.
Yeah, it's clear, to be honest. It is clear. It must be very difficult to have been the only person who survived. Do you wonder why that was? I don't know if you're religious or if you believe in anything.
What can I say? I am a survivor, but I lost my brother, and that's the big thing for me.
And that's what you do. You sit in your room on your own. You don't listen to the TV, and you just think about your brother. It's like torture. I'm sorry.